Today's day 5 of the challenge, and I am still at a big fat 0 today and total in the challenge. And I am moving a lot slower than I would like to be. I'm a little bit further behind than I would like to be. And to be honest, I have been stuck in a couple different places. And today I'm going to take you behind the scenes on where I'm at, where my head's at, how I plan to navigate this whole thing. Let's dive in.
30K in 30 days, let's go. Watch it grow, watch it grow. 30K in 30 days, let's go. On the rise, we're in the flow.
So before we dive in, I want to share my gold nugget of the day. And first of all, I think that hopefully this transparency is helpful and shows you that this is just kind of part of the process. This happens, as I will show you in a second. But also, and more importantly, I want to show you kind of what I think makes a great funnel. So as I'm creating offers or thinking of offers, as I'm creating a funnel, as I'm going through this entire process, I am constantly switching between three different hats: the customer hat, the expert hat, the marketer hat. As the customer, I'm thinking of what that bleeding neck problem is. What solutions have I tried before? What is frustrating about this bleeding neck problem that I have? What are my beliefs about this bleeding neck problem? What are my limiting beliefs? What am I willing to pay? All of these things. And then I'm kind of switching that hat off, coming back and putting the hat on of the expert. What is the transformation that I can almost guarantee I can provide this ideal customer profile? What are the assets or resources that I can provide to add value to this customer on their journey to this transformation? What testimonials do I have? What case studies do I have? What methodology do I have related to this transformation? And then I'm switching that hat off, putting the hat on of the marketer, and asking myself, okay, what is the ideal way to get someone from scrolling their feed, which is full of cat videos and news and memes and everything except for being sold? And how do I get them off that platform into kind of my initial offer and then ascend them into this transformation in a way that is frictionless and high converting, but also meaningful and also still stays true to the customer needs and the expert methodology? And so I think that that kind of allows me to come into this middle point here where it's like this perfect intersection, and that is what I think makes like the perfect funnel. It's also what makes it a little bit kind of complicated and like nuanced, because as I'm constantly switching through these different lenses, I'm just thinking about so many different things. And so that's why I think also this challenge is good for me, because it's keeping me like, hey, I need to stick to this and like continue to just move the needle forward every single day, even if I get stuck. And so yeah, this is a good framework as you are building out your offers, or as you're writing your ads, or you're doing anything in this space. This is insanely valuable. Okay, so now I want to zoom out for a little bit and get a bird's eye view of what this offer launch basically looks like, kind of this 5-phase process. Last video, we talked about my constraints. I have obviously a set amount of time that I'm trying to achieve a certain revenue goal, and I want to leverage kind of my media buying expertise in this process as well. I also shared kind of my offer criteria. I want a large market. I want a big TAM. I want a bleeding neck problem. I want something that has evergreen demand. This isn't a seasonal or trendy thing. This is kind of an ongoing need. And also, just as far as the expert goes that I'm partnering with, they need to be able to and willing to be on camera. They need to have kind of that authority and credibility behind whatever it is that they do. And so that's kind of my part of my offer selection process. Again, as I'm going through any of these, if you want me to dive deeper on them and do a separate video on it, I can totally do that. But for the sake of time here and speed, I'm just going to go through this. Next is kind of what I've been involved in over the past couple of days, market research. And basically, again, back to the 3-hat framework, I'm coming in and kind of switching these hats constantly. I'm immersing myself into the customer. I'm getting a very clear understanding of the words that they're using, the jargon that they're using, the solutions that they're currently using that aren't working, the frustrations that they have, the beliefs that they have, everything around just kind of where our customer is currently at, where they're trying to go, where they've been, all of that. I'm also immersing myself into the transformation. I want to get to know very intimately what this transformation entails, what the expert can provide in terms of that transformation. Again, testimonials, case studies, all of that, so that I can eventually kind of package that into whatever our offer and funnel is. And then I want to look at the market. I want to see where the market's at in terms of competitors. I want to see what they're offering. I want to see where they're priced at. I want to see how they're positioned. And then I want to look for any gaps in there so that I can kind of come in and position myself accordingly. Then I'm going to move into, and I know this looks like a step-by-step thing. Honestly, I don't believe that anything in marketing or, offer launch is like linear. I think that it's very like integrated and kind of messy, but I'm trying to like follow a certain flow. So in general, this is how I kind of do it. But as I have this like audience intel and expert transformation assets and market positioning, big idea, angles, hooks, all that stuff, I'm going to begin to map out this skeleton or this funnel for the launch here. I'm going to map out basically my front end upsells and then how it gets into the core product. And then I'm going to map out what I think the ideal funnel is for this level of awareness, this type of ascension. And then I'm going to run through the economics to make sure, okay, does this actually make sense? Is this possible? Do these conversion rates map out or match like benchmarks and what is being achieved out there? And then I'll go out and build it. I'll build, the tech and the copy and all the assets behind it. Obviously, I'm just kind of breezing through this. So that's a very involved, very heavy lift part of this. So it's not easy, but that's just kind of what it is. And then once I launch it, I'm basically in this optimize and scale phase where it's a lot of fixing bugs. It's a lot of analyzing and monitoring results. And then I'm going to iterate or pivot in any way that I need to, and then I'm going to scale from there. So that is the gold nugget for the day, kind of where I've been and what I've been doing. Honestly, I'm kind of like so obviously the last video, I kind of been doing that, been immersed in the market and the audience lately. And then I've been kind of mapping out what that ascension skeleton looks like. So that's where I've been. In terms of what kind of funnel I've come up with, here's my evil genius plan, and essentially it's looking like this. So obviously I'm going to run ads. That's the whole point of this. I want to, again, run ads into something that I can also partake in the upside from. So I'm running ads into this offer, and the way that I've designed this offer is, obviously it would be amazing to just run ads into a high ticket $10,000 transformation, but that is very difficult to pull off. And so a lot of times what we will do in the space is do kind of a low ticket ascension model. What that means is I'm going to provide kind of a quick win up front. I'm going to lead an ad, a kind of lower commitment, lower priced product that allows the customer to get a quick win and to build that affinity with the seller or the face, the expert, whoever. And then once that is done, then they can kind of continue to ascend into other offers or bigger offers as part of the full transformation. So what I've kind of come up with through all my research and, this whole immersion process is, I think I'm going to do a quiz. Now, the reason I've been stuck is that I have never run a quiz before, other than kind of more of a survey funnel, getting people to sign up to book a call for like local businesses and things like that. This is a little bit different. I'm going to use the quiz to kind of help the lead to self-identify on their symptoms and their needs, and to realize that they need to act now, as well as help them to feel like the solution I'm providing for them is more tailored for them and customized for them and like just personalized. And it is, but I just want them to feel that aspect even more to help with the conversions here. So obviously there's a lot of other funnels that I could do for this, or a lot of other front end products that I could do for this, but this is what I have decided on. So basically I'm going to get the ad traffic to come into a landing page, complete a quiz, and then once they do that, they will be sent into their results page, which is basically going to be a sales page. Hey, congrats on completing this quiz, taking a step towards your transformation. Here's kind of your result type that we feel is the key to achieving your transformation. Now, if you really want to take the next step, here's kind of this initial phase of the transformation, and that is going to be a 497 product. Now, this is a little bit heavier than I normally would do for like a low ticket thing. In fact, this is kind of mid ticket, I would say. So we'll see. This is another reason why I've been stuck. I've been kind of going back and forth on a lot of different either pricing models or a way to pull this off. I've also been considering whether to charge here plus the results and then like selling on the value. But again, I'm just kind of sharing my plan. We'll just kind of go through this. And so if they decide to buy, then or if they're interested here, they'll click, come to the order page, fill out the payment information. There will be some urgency and scarcity elements on this page here. If they buy, they'll come to the thank you page. There'll be a video of the expert thanking them again, congratulating them, and telling them next steps on what to expect. This is something new that I am going to try out. This is from my friend Vinny. Vinny, if you're watching, thank you so much. But he said to implement a call right after this thank you step, just to further validate the customer and showing them that they are making the right decision, not to have buyer's remorse, but that this is a real team behind this product. And we have staff that can make these calls. In fact, they're going to be the ones that are providing this shipment and fulfillment on that. So they will just call up the customer. Hey, thank you for your purchase. Congrats. Just wanted to confirm that this is all looking good. This is the right address, and potentially having some kind of upsell on there. We'll see. But basically, this program is going to include supplements, a food plan, some trainings, potentially some live support in there. This is also another area where I am still really trying to hash out. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been stuck a little bit this week. Is like, I know this kind of like looks simple, and but I've really been immersing myself into the product, into the market, into the minds of the audience and the expert, and then trying to, again, just like continually switch these hats. Like, okay, does this make sense? Does this make sense? Is this frictionless? Is this like too much? Is this like, how do I offset the big price of this front here? And like, by stacking on the value and like positioning them in a way that would convert. Now, my full protocol of supplements here is probably more around like a 1200 mark. Now, obviously, I can't sell that up front. I could, but I'm not going to. And so I've been trying to like unbundle, rebundle, unpackage, repackage in different ways to make this make sense. I think this is like the general direction I'm going to head. I still have some very smart friends out there, and if you're one of them watching this, would love to collaborate with you on some of your ideas and kind of bounce some ideas off on how to pull this off. But this is kind of what I'm thinking as they begin to consume this here. Should come in as they consume this initial month of protocol. I have, like I said, two protocols number 2 and 3 that really are essential for the full transformation. And so I need to be able to ascend them into protocols 2 and 3 for just to ensure that these customers can succeed with the transformation that they're looking for. So part of this initial program here, as they are consuming the product and the program, is to be able to plant those seeds for them to ascend into phases 2 and 3. So, I mean, this potentially, I'm thinking membership, or subscription. I don't know. We're going to figure that out. Also, I mean, this could potentially help with my upsell. So, who knows? We'll see. Next step here is going to be obviously figuring out some of the details in the funnel here, but I really do want to begin kind of at least laying the foundation on the tech side and the build side for this entire funnel here. So I'm going to at least wireframe out this entire funnel. I'm using Go High Level. That's what I've been using for the past couple of years. I love just how easy it is to put up landing pages and to do all of my automations. I didn't even mention just kind of the emails that will be coming in and out of this whole flow here. I'll have email and SMS automation built into all of this as well, but I am using Go High Level. I think that's kind of the best solution for me, at least right now, on these types of things. Next is wireframe the funnel and then just finalize the offer path. So that's where we're at on day 5. Hopefully by the end of this week, and I'll obviously be updating you throughout the week, but by the end of this week, I'm hoping that I can have this kind of built and launched. And there's just a lot to do here. I'm trying not to get overwhelmed by the goal and building in public and just this in general. There's videos here that need to be scripted and filmed. There's a bunch of copy that I'm going to need to write. There's ads I'm going to need to have to film and do and all this stuff. So anyways, this is fun. This is the game. I'm obsessed with it. This is like the best thing ever, but it's tough. So thanks for following along. I will see you soon.
30K in 30 days, let's go. Watch it grow. Watch it grow.